Hi, I'm Vincent Lambe, and today I'm here with the director of Dive, which is one of the live action short films in consideration for the Academy Awards this year. So, Aldo, good to have you with us. How are you?
Hi, Vincent. Nice to meet you, and thanks
Uh,
for this invitation. I'm fine. I'm in Rome, and then ready for this
yeah,
Q&A.
well, good to have time to sit down with you. Like, so it's, I mean, I watch a lot of these shorts and everything, and this one was very interesting, like because it's definitely a
Thank you.
different type of film. It's very special, and it kind of took me by surprise. So like, tell me, what was it that made you want to tell this story, and then how did it all start for you?
The story starts when my brother, screenwriter, decided to put this little idea about these two teenagers and these footprints on this dangerous beach. When he wrote this story when the conflict between Russia and Ukraine starts. In the same time, when I read this little story, I felt a strange fear because I thought in that period a lot of images and bad images of war arriving, and I thought maybe the war arrive here in Italy too, or no? This kind of sensation mixed with this little script, with this little story of feelings, makes me in a positive way to decide not to tell this story. So first of all, I decided to find these two teenagers, so real friends, but at the same time, two guys that lived in.
The two actors they knew each other, did they before the film?
No, I searched one producer from New York in Cannes Film Festival because told me, Aldo, in Italy there is two actors from Kiev that
Oh,
studying
right.
in the Centro Sperimentale di Cinematografia. And maybe could be interesting if you meet them. And then I came back in Italy, and I met them, and I remember the first drink with them in this pub when they arrived. They didn't speak, but played in so sweet way. So I thought, wow, this is my protagonist. They don't use words, and then you are
All
so
right.
beautiful. And then they told me, yeah, we are actors. We're studying. Our dream is to act, and we're studying, but we are real friends from 7 years. So in that moment, I thought, okay, I have the heart of this story. So the script of my
Right.
brother,
So,
my sensation, and then the actor, and then I decided to shoot Dive.
right. So tell me, right, the film, it's obviously about war, but I mean, were you basing it on any particular conflict? Was there anything that inspired you?
There is a lot of information, images of horror, war. So I tried to put in contrast cinematographically this little love story, just to understand that maybe we losing our humanity. Maybe it's time to come back to stay together. And I tried with
Right.
this real episode because you know in when the conflict starts in Ukraine, the government put under the sand the mines. So people wanted to leave. I remember all this video of people that wanted continue to swim, to have to take sun, to stay there in their home. So it was a paradox, no?
Yeah,
Your same government put these dangerous mines in your no beach, and I was shocked from these images because no, the the force to survive, no, the we like human beings, we want to survive, no, and at the end we destroyed ourselves. So it's a universal reflection that we need to do. It's not one word, two word. The point
of
is
course. Right.
that
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a universal story there, but I think it has it has an impact at the moment because of what's happening, in
what's happening?
Ukraine and
Come
Israel,
on.
Gaza, yeah, it definitely has a resonance, at the end. what I liked about the film that we like, I actually didn't know any much about the film going into it, and I like that your logline, your synopsis doesn't give it away either. You know, so it's actually very interesting how it starts off, and we just kind of have this lovely intimate like connection between these two teenagers, and then the film just kind of takes you by surprise. You know, so I mean, was that always your intention? I mean, did you want people to kind of go into the film not knowing what it's about?
I want to put in front of you these two teenager, because for me, young youth is connection with the nature, with the beauty. Is You are brave. You wanna continue to live, to stay with the people that you love. So I followed this kind of images and relationship between these two teenagers. So every time I thought, look at them. They are so beautiful. I want to stay with them in this beach doing simple things. Come back to simple things. Take a beer. Decided to go to swim against the weather because it's no it's
Right.
a rainy day in arriving a storm, metaphorically arriving no the danger. So I tried just to make a portrait of this youth, just because I tried
Yeah,
that
there's a lovely
people.
connection between the two of them at the beginning, and obviously it's shattered once the war comes. But there's also, I mean, there's very little dialogue in it. You know, I think there's a long time before there's even one word spoken. So I mean, was there a reason that you chose to use such minimal dialogue?
It's because when you stay with a person that you love, you don't need words. Just
Right.
stay there looking at the beach. I'm pretty sure that you too, Vincent, know in no when you stay with the people that no, I thought
Of
this.
course, yeah.
How
No,
the,
I understand. It's what's lovely about it is, it's you don't need any subtitles for it. You know, like you can watch this and it has the same meaning, regardless of what nationality you are or what language you speak as well. I mean, it's lovely colors and images. It was a great sequence. So tell me a bit about just how you went about shooting it and the visual style of the film.
yeah, the underwater scene is the this dive into their feelings. So in the hearts of these two teenagers. So I tried to change the totally the world around them. So the reality, the bomb, danger, and then at the end, I needed another world. I remember this moment when, with my director of photography, Daniele Cipri, we decided to paint a sort of another world, no, under the water. I started from this painting of Arthur Diefenbach, inspired me a lot because in this paint is a German painter. And I watched this paint in Capri. I was there. I was shocked from this painting, and I sent a picture to Daniele and said, "Daniele, look this black and look this blue. Is exactly for me love and death." So these two teenagers are so happy to stay there, touching, but there is all the rest of the world that no is it's an horror movies. No, it's this strange mix. We started from this painting, but at the end, the power of that scene is the this sort of dance of them that they was blinded under the water, so it was very
Hmm.
difficult to shoot. But we made a lot of rehearsal just to understand which kind of emotions we need to put the inside. So I remember Daniel shared with me a lot of personal, private moments connected with their opinions of the war of their life. He dreamed to be an actor, but in this moment, his life is not around. So me too. I share with them my feelings, and then we arrived at the end of that scene. It was a perfect the first shot and the second because I don't know. Sometimes something happen when you're a director too. No, when you are there, you just watch and then something happens. And the underwater scene, I don't have words to describe that exactly. It was magic.
Yeah, no, it's beautifully like made. I mean, I kind of like visually, or or maybe thematically as well. It feels like there's kind of maybe three stages to the film. Like there's the beginning where we have this lovely intimate relationship with them. Then there's the underwater sequence, and then they come out, and it's like it's their world is shattered, and it's a war zone. Um, so I mean, is that kind of what you had always intended for the film? I mean, did you always have a very clear vision of how you wanted it to work like that? I mean, did it change much?
About the end of the movie, if I
Yes, I mean, from your initial idea, I mean, how different is the film now to what you kind of set out to make, would you say?
no, I spoken a lot with the editor Marco about the end because no, the reality comes back, and then is the end of this youth.
Mm,
Doesn't matter if they are alone, they survived or not. When I started with my brother, the screenwriter, we decided to follow the run of these two teenagers. But after all these emotions, I thought that when war arrives, all is finished. You can't come back. As, and then a little,
shatters
I
their
changed
whole
a little bit at the end.
world. So at the end of the film, is it supposed to be ambiguous as to whether they survive or they killed or in your mind? I mean, how do you see it? I mean,
The most important things
they-
was the footprints.
right. Where you're talking about where there's the dog, right, which is very interesting, right? The dog kind of runs into the water and
Because the
then
dog is innocent.
right, and
In
they
my
they, they
theory,
follow the footprints
I
of the
put the
dog, which
subjective, yeah, I put the subjective of minds when the story starts, no, and the dog arrive and there's no explosion. Okay, at the end, the two teenagers run. For me, the most important things is to maybe in another story in the future, other brave teenager or not teenager find these footprints, human footprints, and then decided to go. So for me, it's hope because no, we
right.
need to go to dive. So we need to follow life, not death. So for me, it was very important that we start with this dog and then continue with the footprints of these two teenagers because at the end, yes, this is a very bad situation, but I think that we can try to think about another future. So footprints is a sort of metaphor to our future, and that's the reason
Okay.
why I finished it with the broken mobile. Okay, the reality, but at the same time with these footprints, that is for me, it's hope.
Right. Lovely. Right. I get it now. Right. So, I mean, what I found quite interesting was how it unfolds. I mean, it looks like just a couple on a beach, and then we see the sign, the warning sign to say that there's landmines on the beach. So it's a huge risk that they're taking, to be there. And there's the dog. They follow in the dog's footprints and everything, because that kind of leads a path, right? I mean, for safety, they can follow that the path. So I mean, just tell me about that. I mean, the significance of the dog um, and just the risk that they're taking there. So it's the girl is who,
Because they think that they fight against the reality around them, choosing to come back to their beach. So they are young. They want to go there. Yeah, it's a dangerous beach, but I thought that the most powerful image to arrive to the end is that they, when the story starts, dance on the mines. So in my mind, every time thinking about this dance, so I decided to put a very funny and with this beat, the funny music of from Ricchi e Poveri is an Italian Is an Italian song very famous in the East.
Okay. I
I
love the
think
music. I thought the score, the music, like your music choices were great, like throughout the whole film. So yeah, yeah. Tell me just a bit about your reason
yes,
for.
because this kind of dangerous moment, I want to put in contrast this very happy music to help them. Yes,
Yeah,
go to dance. Come on, guys, you are so beautiful. Go, and
yeah.
then
No, it's lovely.
people starts to do this in the with the head in the theaters too. I remember every screenings of Dive. And no, if you think about the end, they were scared. So this kind of shock, I tried to. It's a sort of experience dive, like shorts. Only 12 minutes, and you stay there. I tried to put all this contrast, and then the music was very important because yeah, I started with this song, but at the end, I choose it totally and arrive Modern Nature. So this song, very sad. I imagined a sort of Mother Nature that cry because the child fights, no, and then at the end they kill each other. And I imagined this song, and this song played by Al Salila and arranged by Enrico Melozzi. um, it's incredible because it starts like romantic music and create helped me to create this uh, aquatic world, underwater world. But at the end, Elsa scream and no put out all the and the reality arrives, so totally change the mood of the movie, like no like when arrive one world and then
Mm.
all is destroyed. So I used the music to have this contrast too.
Yeah,
uh,
no, very interesting. I mean, it makes it quite powerful how you juxtapose the juxtaposition of the music and what we're seeing on the screen. So, uh, like, were there any films that yeah, influenced you like before making it? I mean, is there like what would your influences be?
I don't know because every time I think about the movie that you love, no? So I thought uh, a a lot of very bad mm, images from, but not from movies. I spent a lot of time to watching YouTube videos from real scene of war. Obviously, I love Stanley Kubrick. I love. Um, I remember I watched a lot of movie connected, but not famous. But the point is that the portrait at the end with Daniele, we thought about L'Atalante di Jean Vigo, about the underwater scene, or the point is that we tried to put out this kind of influence and tried to understand better which kind of images we want to share with people. So I tried to do this little portrait like paintings, not like um, scene of a movie. I don't know if you understand me. I put
Right.
out influence from cinema and tried to follow some other influences from paintings.
Yes.
And
Okay. No,
then
of course. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
I like to experiment with short film. You are free, no, to do a lot of
Hmm.
experiments.
Oh,
So
it's a lovely style, but yeah, great mood as well. I mean, I love how it kind of puts the viewer in the shoes of this couple, and allows us to kind of feel every moment, every feeling, as if it was our own. So it's a very immersive sort of film.
I remember the scene of but maybe one scene that in I lived this shot, but I remember the movie of Guillermo del Toro, no? Where the the underwater scene, no, with the monster.
Oh
So
yes, yeah,
yeah, or uh, so a lot of discussions with Daniele and with Marco, my editor. But at the end, yeah, we decided to put it out and then focus on these two teenagers. A
What
lot
would you
of
say was like the biggest challenge about making the film? So
the,
like what was the
which
hardest part about making it? I mean, was it the war sequence or for you, what was
the hardest part was when the teenager go out from the water because we shot it in at the end of January,
hmm.
so the water was very, very cold. And
Oh, okay, of course, right, yeah.
it was very, very difficult because I had very few minutes to take the the shot good. So yeah,
Right.
not
So
the
was the
underwater
film
scene, but the scene.
in Italy? Is it Rome? Where you're from Rome, right?
Yeah,
And
I live in Rome now. Yeah, but I was born in Calabria in southern Italy, so I have a special connection with the sea. Every time when I wanna think, I go to the sea.
so it's been screening around festivals around the world, hasn't it? Yeah. So tell me a bit about like about that and what's the audience reaction been to the film?
Yeah, one of the most beautiful things of this distribution for Oscar campaign and around the festival in the last months is that the reaction every time are the same.
Yeah.
In all in USA, in UK, yesterday in Rome, it was amazing because I spoke about a lot of things that I spoke in London when the sand arrives, to cover the old movie, and a lot of people was shocked, when they go out and run. I remember one reaction, and I worked a lot on the audio of the movie when arrived the dive. I put an sort of level of audio very high because for me they are the real bomb are these two teenagers. So I tried to scare, make a sort of uh, jump into the audience.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
happens
So
every
it
time in the
works.
theater
It's
happens. When I arrive, it's not only a dive, but we push it with the
mm.
audio, with little effects it looks like a bomb that arrives. So and the same
Yeah. No,
reaction everywhere.
it's wonderful because I didn't know anything about this going into it, and I was glad that I didn't. So it took me by surprise as well. When it's the whole genre of the film suddenly changes and you realize it's about
Yeah,
war.
exactly. Oh my gosh.
Um, but it's yeah, I mean it's also about connection as well. I mean, so tell me that. I mean, like, is there a message in the film, and what would you hope that audiences would take away from the film?
I believe that movies in general, especially maybe to teenagers, I hope that thanks to this campaign that I shared these movies with a lot of people in this screening. I hope that people maybe think about uh, this situation, this position in the world, and looking around and thinking, no, which kind of future we building? Really, I want to come back to my adolescence. I want to come back, not adolescence. I want to come back to be human in a positive way. You understand? So
Yes,
not
yeah.
not a message, not a message, a sensation and under the skin, something that no, you finished to watch dive but at the end, you remember the beauty of this teenager, and at the same time, you think that, oh my gosh, it's a very shitty world
Hmm.
now.
I mean, I guess, I mean, for me, I mean, I felt it was about humanity and, that the human connection, between the couple. And it's really, really beautiful how
But
you
I think that
reflected
we
it.
coming back to stay together. Look, people coming back to the cinema to share movie together. A lot of teenagers leave the mobile, and then I think that we going in this. We needs to share emotions. I was in a school. I teach cinema too in Italy, the
Okay,
direct.
right.
Every year I spend time with my students, and I have hope. It will be a new world. I don't think that it something changing. I feel this kind of sensation. Yes, the geopolitics situation is very bad. But when I watch the to teenager, they have a good connection with the nature and between them.
There's hope in it, I guess, isn't there? But so you're close to the voting is open now for the first round voting for the Academy Awards. And I think next week we're going to find out the shortlist will be announced. So tell me what would it mean for you to make the shortlist of the
Uh,
Academy Awards?
for me, it's a dream because I live for cinema, no? So professionally, Oscar is but it's the top not for my ego because I love to do cinema. It's the top because from there you can share your movie and then you can continue to tell story because it's an incredible occasion for me, but for this story too, especially in this moment. So, wow, for me, it's a sort of dream. I live in Italy, so I was there in LA. It was incredible. It's another market. It's another. I love a lot of different movies. I love Italian cinema too. One of my favorite directors is Federico Fellini and Vittorio De
Ah,
Sica.
right. Yes,
But
of course.
the point of the Oscar is you have a sort of megaphone, no? When you stay there, and you
Right.
can maybe you can tell to the people something. So is the best level of cinema, no? You
Yeah, I
do
mean, it's
entertainment, but at the same time, you can tell, come on, guys, it's time to
your
love
platform, I
each
think, isn't it?
other.
To
No?
do it. Yeah. So, well, look, it's a very
It's a
unusual
dream. It's a dream.
story.
I don't want to think about votes or something like that because it's not in the hands of nothing. And that's is the magic of I think the Oscar too, no? Because okay, you share your movie and then if the people like the okay, I come back and then we continue to share the movie. If don't, okay, I I shared the movie too in the so this is my personal approach to this campaign screenings share the dive with the people. That's the reason why I come back to the short film as a little movies. It's a jewel you can no it's a little
Yeah,
gift.
like this film, it's very neat, very concise, but it definitely has a big impact, and it got me by surprise, and I hope it connects with Academy voters as well. And hopefully when the shortlist is announced, we'll see you there. So yeah, look, the very best of luck to you with it. It was so nice talking to you, Aldo. Thanks for
Thank you.
sitting down and taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you, Vincent.
Best of luck with the shortlist, Aldo. All
Thank
the best.
you.